again, I would like to welcome you to our next lesson for today. And before we begin with it, I would like us to do the corrections of what we did last time. I remember giving you activity questions. And our question number 1 was reading that name any 2 tree species found in equatorial forests. So I'm going to write only the answers. You have to write corrections, and then if where you fail, you put the correct answer. So we wanted 2, 1. We say we have mvule trees. That is, we also have 2 as mahogany trees. These are the ones I have picked, but we looked at very many of them the other time. Our question number 2 was reading, how do forests promote human health in our environment? How do forests promote human health in our environment? That is number 2. This was number 1, number 2. I know you gave that answer, but we say that some trees or some trees in forests, some trees in forests provide, some trees in forests provide herbal, medicine used to treat some diseases, So we don't only use the medicines from the hospitals, but the forest can also be a good resource for us to get the herbal medicine that we can use to treat some diseases. Number 3, we say, question number 3, in which one way do forests help to modify the climate of an area? I know you have given answers, but I have one here and say that can say forests, say they help in, let's use that, in rain formation. They help in rain formation. So another one we could also add maybe is that the forests also help to absorb carbons in the atmosphere that cause global warming. We very well know that accumulation of a lot of carbons in the atmosphere destroys the ozone layer and causes global warming. So these forests will use those carbons in their formation of food, and that one will help to clear off the air, hence reducing global warming. So number 4, we're saying to name that mention any 2 countries in Africa that have tropical rain forests. I remember telling you as we are going, you keep checking on your atlas so that we go together. So we said that in the west of Uganda, the western part of Uganda, there is a neighboring country which is commonly covered, and that is Democratic Republic of Congo. So you can also, those who have written DRC is also okay, that the country is written in short. They also have another country as Gabon, and many more others that you will check as we learned the other time. So then our last question we say, how do rainforests promote crop farming in the areas near them? How do they promote crop farming in the areas near them? That was our question number 5. How do they promote? They don't help us in growing, but there's something that they do. These rainforests help. They help in the formation of rain through transpiration. So, and you know that the farmers around that area depend on rainfall for them to grow their crops. That's why we are saying that the areas near those forests where rainfall is formed or is received, crop growing can be done. I thank you for that correction. So today we want to look at a new thing altogether. You can still get your atlas, you can still get your textbook, and you keep following as we go ahead. So we also want to look at another type of natural vegetation, and that is savanna vegetation. Remember, we are done now with equatorial vegetation or equatorial rain forests. So you can get ready, get your material very ready, and we begin looking at the savanna vegetation. Savanna vegetation. Savanna vegetation. This is not so strange. Right away from P5, P4, you have been learning about savanna vegetation. What do you think when somebody talks about savanna vegetation? We first want to look at this word savanna. So savanna simply is a wide, open, flat area of land which is covered mostly with grass but has few trees. They say that savanna is a wide open flat area of land. Remember, right well, of land covered mostly with grass, but this area also has few trees. So you will find that the trees in savanna are not like the ones that we saw as in equatorial rainforests. The other ones, there is thick growth, or the forests are thick. What about the savanna vegetation itself? What do we talk about it? Savanna vegetation. Savanna vegetation. This savanna vegetation is also the type of natural vegetation that covers the largest part of Africa. So we are saying is the type of vegetation, there's one that we need to put here, type of natural vegetation. We put the word natural here, but if we say it's the type of vegetation, Remember, there are two types of vegetation, that is natural vegetation and planted vegetation. But savanna is an example of natural vegetation. That's why you're saying savanna is the type of natural vegetation that covers the largest part of Africa. It is a common question that is normally asked, that name the type of natural vegetation that covers the largest part of Africa. That is savanna vegetation. Sometimes the savanna vegetation can also be called tropical grasslands because they grow in those tropical regions of Africa. Not forgetting, in East Africa too, savanna vegetation covers the largest part of East Africa. And also when you come to Uganda, savanna vegetation still covers the largest part of Uganda. Now, this savanna vegetation is divided into two types. So let's look at the types of savanna vegetation. Types of savanna vegetation, or the divisions savanna vegetation. Types of savanna vegetation is divided into two. The first one is we have the savanna grasslands. We have the savanna grasslands, and then the second type of savanna vegetation is the savanna woodlands. So these are the two types of savanna vegetation. We have the savanna grasslands and then the savanna woodlands. Those are divided. We are going to pick one and see, and we'll talk about it shortly before we go to another thing. Let's pick savanna woodlands. Say savanna, this is our A, savanna woodlands. I constantly want to remind you to write neatly. Make sure you have correct spacing of letters, correct spacing of words. That's when you will have good work, and then correct shapes of letters. So where do we find the savanna woodlands? These are found in areas towards equatorial regions which receive plenty of rainfall. They are found in those areas as we are moving towards the equatorial regions. So with them, they are outside the equatorial regions, which receive enough rainfall, may not be as much as the one in the tropical rainforests. So we are saying that these are found in areas towards equatorial regions. Which receive enough rainfall. Like that. So you will find that as you are going towards the equatorial regions, or as you are moving outside the equatorial regions where the trees grow very tall, as we saw in the characteristics, you now come to the woodlands. They also grow in areas where rainfall is received, may not be equivalent to the other one. Then we want to look at examples, briefly, examples of the savanna woodlands in East Africa. I'm now bringing it back to East Africa. Examples of savanna woodlands or the woodlands, example of woodlands in East Africa. Woodlands in East Africa. If you are following me with the textbook there, you may find that we have one, a common one, known as the Miombo woodlands. Take Miombo woodlands. Woodlands. In which country do we find the Miombo woodlands in East Africa? Say Miombo woodlands of Tanzania. They are found in Tanzania. The question can easily come to name the country in East Africa common, where Miombo woodlands are found. It is found in Tanzania. So we also have another, the Shimba Hills. Shimba. Take note of the spelling here. Shimba Hills. Hills of Kenya. So these are the common woodlands in Eastern Africa. Now, I want to talk something small on the Miombo woodlands of East Africa. Miombo woodlands here are not densely populated. Or else I would say they are sparsely populated. What am I meaning? They are not much inhabited by people. There are very few people living in that area. Not because they don't want to live, but it is because there is infestation of tsetse flies. So what we say here, we will put first here our NB. They can say, give you a reason, give one reason why the Miombo woodlands are not much settled or are sparsely populated. So we want to put here as our NB and say that Miombo woodlands are sparsely populated due to presence of tsetse flies. Now, these tsetse flies become a danger to people and both their animals. We know to animals the tsetse flies can spread the germs that cause nagana. We also have in human beings, they can spread the germ that causes sleeping sickness. So these are all dangerous diseases, and that makes that area not much settled. So we want to look at another. We have briefly talked about the woodlands, so we have looked at the savanna woodlands, and we have shortly brought that. Let's look at the savanna grasslands. Savanna grasslands. Savanna grasslands. These grasslands are located in the tropical regions of Africa and towards the semi-arid areas. As you move further from the equatorial areas, you can move to the drier areas, maybe towards the deserts, towards the semi-arid areas. So we are saying these are located in the tropical regions of Africa towards drier or towards semi-arid areas. Semi-arid arid areas. When we talk of these semi-arid areas, these are areas that receive little rainfall, but not in the semi-arid. We are saying towards as we are moving in those areas. So, what do we get from there? Savanna grasslands, one, you will find that in these savanna grasslands, you see the word grasslands. Grasslands have, what do they have? They have plenty of grass. So you will find that the area is mostly covered with grass, though there are trees, but they are not thick or many like the way we saw in the equatorial regions. And then what about the trees that we have? The few trees that may be there, the scattered ones. We also say that trees, when you reach to the savanna areas, trees in the savanna areas or grasslands are deciduous. Trees in savanna areas or savanna grasslands are deciduous. Let me use a different piece. We say deciduous. Like this. I want you to take note of this spelling. Deciduous. They are deciduous. Now another question will come, what are deciduous trees? What is this that we are talking about? So we say maybe that deciduous trees, we want to talk about it, we'll talk about these trees that we are calling deciduous trees. You might have heard from your primary 6, and we are now going to look at it once more. What are deciduous trees? I know you have an answer there. Deciduous trees are trees that shade. Another word comes here, shade. There is also another shade, but we are meaning this one. Shade their leaves. Shade their leaves during dry season. So you will find that it is very common that the trees which are here shade their leaves when the dry season approaches. And when the rainy season comes, the vegetation sprouts, as we are going to look at the characteristics of this. Now, suppose you are asked to give a reason why the trees in this area become or undergo deciduous process. That one is what we are going to look at next here. We will pose it in a question form that why do trees in savanna grasslands undergo deciduous process. This is a very important question they can ask you. Now, it is a common sense I can say undergo deciduous process, or they can also say, why do they shed their leaves? Why do these trees shed their leaves at a certain season or certain point in a year? These trees, one is to reduce the rate of transpiration. Transpiration. We could have learned about transpiration in science commonly to reduce the rate of transpiration. But now, why do they need to reduce that loss of water to the atmosphere? The reason is in order or we can say so as to retain water for survival. But I think that word might be here for you to use during dry season. So you will find that these trees also know that during the dry season it is not easy to get water. So what they do, they will first have to deal away with the leaves that help in transpiration, so that they retain that water and will slowly be used during the dry season. And when the rains come back, another group or other leaves now, new ones will grow and they continue like that, in that way. So at that point, we want to look at conditions that favor the growth of savanna vegetation. Let's look at the conditions that favor the growth of savanna vegetation. Which conditions need to prevail in an area so that the savanna area gets that type of natural vegetation? So those conditions are what we want to look at. One of them is moderate seasonal rainfall. Moderate seasonal rainfall. So you find that in the tropical regions, the tropical climate, as we looked earlier, that it has two seasons. You will have the dry season and the wet season. So the rainfall should be moderate, not too much, not again too small, and we find the grasslands grow. Another one, they also grow in areas with the high temperatures. As we know, the tropical regions, high temperatures. Then finally, the area should have low humidity. I remember the other time as we looked at in equatorial, we saw that for the equatorial rainforest, they grow in areas with high humidity. So here we have moderate seasonal rainfall, high temperatures, and low humidity. Now, we want to look at the characteristics of this natural vegetation. That is the savanna vegetation. If you are following me, you open the page in your textbook that has some of this, and then you go through with me. So let's look at the characteristics. Characteristics of savanna vegetation. Characteristics of savanna vegetation. Yeah. So if we are moving together, I would have invited you to give me yours, but I may not get all what you are going to check in the book. So pray. So what are the characteristics? One, that this savanna area, we say the area is mostly covered with the grass. The area is mostly covered with grass, but with a few trees. but with the few trees that are scattered in that area. So the common tile is covered by grass, as we saw earlier. We say the grasslands. We say the grassland, the grass in this area, this very grass that we are saying covered the area, the grass withers or dries. You can say the grass dries, or the grass dry during the dry season, and sprout during rainy season. So it withers, it first turns from green to yellow, pale, and then it withers completely. And that is why you find that most farmers mainly burn so that they get new pasture. We also have that we saw another one and say that trees in this area, that the trees shade or trees are deciduous. Trees are deciduous. Remember what we said about deciduous. You can also say trees shed their leaves during dry season. So we say that in that area trees are deciduous. And then we also say that there is short grass. There is short grass. And few trees in the areas near semi-arid areas or near the semi-arid. So there is short grass and few trees in areas near semi-arid. So as you are moving towards the semi-arid from the savanna areas, you will find that the grass keeps on reducing in height, and also the trees keep on scattering because those areas don't receive enough rainfall that can facilitate their growth very well. We want to look at some of the plants that grow, the trees and the rest that grow, that are common in those areas. So some of the plants that grow in savanna vegetation areas, that grow in savanna vegetation areas. So one, we can find some of the trees. We have the baobab trees. We also have some of the trees, acacia trees. They have the acacia trees. We also have the thorny bushes, mainly thorny bushes. These ones are also there. Then we also have tall bright elephant grass. We have the tall grass or tall elephant grass that grow in wet areas, especially those areas that receive rainfall. As you are moving towards the equatorial regions, you'll find that the grass becomes tall. Then finally, we also have the short grass with bushes, that grow or that are common in dry areas, that are common near dry areas. So you will find that the rainfall distribution here affects the growth of this vegetation. As you are going towards the wet areas, you will find that the grass grows tall. Now, as you are moving towards the dry areas, you will find that the grass also reduces because the rainfall is not enough. Now, what are some of the economic activities that can be carried out in the savanna vegetation areas or savanna vegetation zones? So let's run through economic activities that can be carried out there. What can man do? And how can man benefit from such areas? So the economic activities carried out in savanna vegetation. Economic activities carried out in savanna vegetation zone. What do you think people in these areas can do? Being grass, you will find that one of the main economic activity is pastoralism, or we can say cattle keeping. This is cattle keeping. Why is cattle keeping common in this area? Because the savanna grasslands provide plenty of pasture. So we are saying cattle keeping due to plenty of pasture for this. So that's one of the economic activities. We also find that the savanna grassland has got many game parks in Africa located in that region. So as there are very many game parks, you will also find that there is an activity called tourism. Tourism is one of the activities that is common in that area. Why is it carried out? We are saying tourism is carried out due to many game parks located in savanna vegetation zone. So this actually in Africa, most of the game parks are located in the savanna regions, because the savanna region provides plenty of pasture for wild animals. So tourism definitely will take place in that area as many people visit such game parks. We also have some activities. We also have activities like mining can also be carried out in case a mineral is there. Now, I want to give one that why are most game parks located in this area? I have not captured here. Why are most game parks in Africa located located in savanna vegetation zone. It is a very important question that you need to get, that why are they located in the savanna vegetation zone? You can give me the answers, but as you can write some here. Why they are located in the savanna vegetation zone. So we are saying, one, there is plenty of pasture for wild animals. So the grasslands provide plenty of pasture. That's why most game parks are located in that area. Then we also have the vegetation provides a good habitat. The vegetation here provides a good habitat. For wild animals. So you will find that it also gives a good habitat for wild animals. We also say that the savanna vegetation zone has adequate water. So we also say the area has enough, let's use this, enough water sources, for animals to drink. So these are some of the reasons as to why the savanna vegetation zone has many game parks in the region of Africa, and we have seen 3 of these, that the area has plenty of pasture for wild animals, the vegetation provides a good habitat for wild animals, then the area has enough water source for animals. Now, we would like to come and look at the reasons why pastoralism or cattle keeping is commonly done in the region. So for that, I think we shall begin from there in the next time. What I'm going to give you is some few questions here, and then you will answer for me as we normally do. You can now prepare your book and write for me some questions, the activity questions, and make sure you answer them. Following our given notes. Well, we can say, name, first write here, activity, like that. Name the type, this type of natural vegetation that covers most parts, of Africa. So you will go back to our map also and locate the region which is covered by that type. Then too, you can also say, what are deciduous trees? What are deciduous trees? Number 3, that why do trees shade their leaves? Why do trees shade their leaves during dry season? During dry season. And the 4th question, you can say, give a reason why Miombo woodland is not, or is sparsely populated. Is sparsely populated. Is sparsely populated. And I think I add you more 1 or 2 numbers. Number 5, we also say, give any 2 characteristics of savanna vegetation. And lastly, why are most game parks in Africa located in savanna vegetation. I think that one. So you will find I have many questions, but for today I thank you and I want to give you that. Now I would like to first tell you that this coronavirus is real. Keep safe, stay safe. Bye for now.